numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. They'll begin the drive with Carson, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On second down, it's Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
First down, Seattle.
380.
March 47.
The first carry for C.J. Procise. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Check, 47. Hey, let's get him home. 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Carson. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
34-yard line.
Check back 47. You don't want nothing. You don't want nothing. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Going quickly out wide to Moore. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, 34 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Ready? 95-56. All day. Hey, Mike's 50. Hey, kill. Hey, zoom. 50. Mike is a 50. Check for a touch.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks 7, Saints nothing.
Ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's put him on the front.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Ready. 95-56. 95-56. 54. Quit talking about it.
Kamara trying the right side. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
50, Go. Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He'll return it from the 6. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
What?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. And they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Wilson gives to Process on the delay. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's Wilson to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And Pete Carroll looks like he likes his chances with the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 21. Smooth.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
I'm coming.
Breeze now. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Sammy!
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Hey! Wahoo! Mike 50.
I'm coming for my touch.
Now Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Thomas, the intended target.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
Ready?
Right there. 54 Mike. Defense wins championships, baby. Mike's 50.
You kill.
Mike 54.
Hey, watch your leg. Hey, Delta.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long...
Get set. Ready, set.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Looking for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That'll bring up second down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Kill.
Now Kamara. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
A give to Camaro running right, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Their 49-yard line.
Ready, 5-9. Check. Watch 54. Not today, you are. Not today.
A 10th carry for Camara. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Ready, yellow waiting. It's out time, guys. It's out time.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Ezekiel Ansah with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Harris to return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Sammy!
Again, it's Camara. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I'm going to hit you all day.
That's a gain of 3.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Here's Breeze to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Now it's Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Wilson. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this off.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Check, check, check. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Ready, check.
Now Breeze to try again after the pick 6. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
The Saints, first down. 1st and 10 at the 46.
Ready. Ready.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run.
Ready. watch the run. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
That's what I do.
Under 10. Touch 50.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important 3rd down.
Check. Go, guys. Go down. Switch.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Rolling to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. On the return, Harris. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make...
And that should do it. Trey Flowers picks it. Thomas the intended target. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Mike 27. Watch the run.
On 3rd down, It's Carson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On first down, Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second down now, it's Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Check, 47. I got it.
On third down, Carson. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on fourth down. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.